You are listening to the Overcome Pornography for Good podcast, episode 170, announcing our rebrand to the Center for Overcoming Pornography. Welcome to the Overcome Pornography for Good podcast, where we take a research-based, trauma-informed, and results-focused approach to quitting porn. This approach has been revolutionary and changed thousands and thousands of lives. I'm your host, Sara Brewer. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode. So glad you're here. I'm excited for today's episode. Like I always am. I say that every episode, but I'm excited. I'm excited for today's episode and this new announcement. I want to talk to you guys about this new rebrand that we've just launched. A new website, big updates coming in our program, just different things that, we're adding and focusing on. And I want to talk about how that affects you. Before we dive in, I just, want to say thank you to those of you who have left me reviews on the podcast. You guys know we have over 1 million downloads. Isn't that crazy? It's that crazy. I want to just give a shout out to this one review that says, Sara Brewer, you are awesome. Thank you. Your methods and teachings are finally helping me to realize things I've never even thought of before. I no longer feel weak. I don't feel disgusting. And I feel great confidence that I can get over this terrible burden. Seeing all the other reviews of people who had spent several years and never found anything that could help until you came along is the most inspiring thing ever. Thank you so much. Just thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And I love that. I'm so it really still hurts my heart. And when you guys see me getting a little fiery and some of my emails are fiery in my posts or in my episodes, it's when I'm thinking about, people who are sitting around feeling disgusting and feeling worthless and in a lot of distress. The distress around this is real and it's damaging and it's traumatic, truly. Just so grateful you're here. Thank you for the review. And all of you have left reviews. Thank you so much. It really does help my podcast get out there. And so it's such a gift to me for you to leave those and, how that spreads the word. So thank you. Let's dive into our content today, which is talking about the rebrand. We've been Sara Brewer Coaching. We're rebranding to the Center for Overcoming Pornography. And there's, a couple of reasons for that. I'm different. I'm in a different place now than I was when I started. And, most of my messaging is the same. But I've grown a lot. And my business, my company has grown a lot. And it's not just me. There's a whole team of us that are really committed to this mission. So that's a big reason for this change. It's not Sara Brewer anymore. It's the Center for Overcoming Pornography. And it's the center where we're team focused. And I am sick of seeing my name. I'm sick of seeing my face a little bit. I want it to have more of a center feel. So that's one of the reasons. This, outward rebrand is also a result of a lot of internal changes that have happened, internal in me and then internal in my team and internal in my brand. There's been, months and months of wrestling with things and researching things and trying to decide, just different ways of approaching and working through things. And then as that changed in me, there were internal changes in the business and there were some hard decisions and hard conversations I had to have with my team to make sure, that they were all on board or to hire. It was just really hard. It was a really hard couple of months going through all of that. And so this is kind of that outward manifestation of all those inward and internal changes that we've been making. When I started, I didn't realize how much this would resonate with people, and I didn't know of the reach that it would have. It started as my baby, and it's really grown into its own living, breathing organism, and I just feel really, excited and happy to be a part of this and all the growth that's, I've gone through some pretty rough things since I started this. I've experienced, huge, major growing things and growing pains and growth in my personal life, growth in business life. I've really had to grow from, random coach to CEO, where now I'm managing 8 employees. I've had to go from coaching to all the business stuff and having to look at all the business stuff and having to learn how to manage people and having to learn, how to create a sustainable business so that we can keep helping more and more and more people. You guys have probably heard that a little bit of the change in me talking about trauma, right? Compared to maybe the first 50 or so episodes that I did to now, since I started, I've become really trauma informed. I've gone through a lot of my own huge trauma things that have happened and popped up in my life that, I don't talk about openly here, and I won't ever, but like just going to say that it's all made me such a better coach and a better like advocate and a better all of these things. And so that's all stuff I've been going through. And it's really fun for me, this rebrand. It's like everything's kind of coming full circle for me. It's really more of a thing for me, might not impact all of you that much. Here's what is going to impact you. It's just going to be better. Everything's going to be better. So our new website is going to have a lot more resources for you, specifically resources around research. And I'm going to be doing episodes on this. Okay. And you know what? There's so much to say in those episodes that I'll just kind of leave for that episode, but we're going to be talking about porn panic and myths about pornography that a lot of us have learned and heard. And then we're going to talk about what, the unbiased research says here. And it's going to be different than what you've heard. And it's going to be really like liberating and empowering. And I'm really excited to share that with you guys. I think that's going to be like a 3-part episode series because it's big and there's a lot of things there. And I'm very excited about that. But there will be, if you want to go and read through some of that stuff, you can on the website. We have a couple of new team members that are program ambassadors. Maybe I'll have them come on for a podcast episode. They've both been through my program and it really changed their lives. And now they're program ambassadors, which means that they're contact points for you, especially if you're not in the program. They're contact points for you to give you resources, to send you to the things that we do have, to talk to and answer questions about the program if you're considering joining the program. They don't do like cold outreach, but for anyone who does like sign up for free things, they are available for you if you want to talk to them. So that's also amazing if you're interested in chatting with one of them to talk through maybe some things you hear on the podcast, or maybe if you're interested in the program, want to learn about that, or talk to someone who's actually been in it. You can talk to them. And I'm trying to think what the best way for you to get in contact with them is. It's probably just to email us and then we'll forward your information to them. So you can just email us, support@sarabrewer.com. There will be a new website. So the new website is the Center for Overcoming Pornography.com. You'll easily be able to like redirect. So if you still type in Sara Brewer, it'll just take you directly to the Center for Overcoming Pornography. So it's not something you have to like worry about like doing wrong or typing in the wrong thing. It's going to be easy. And then the other biggest thing, that's going to affect you is that we're adding 2 new milestones to the program, and I'm updating a lot of things in the program. And so the 2 new milestones, it's going to be on shame, like really specific things to do and teachings and concepts and like coaching material around shame. And we've had that sprinkled out, because it's my big thing is shame, right? So it's in all of the coaching, it's in all the milestones, but we have like now a very, very specific milestone on that. And then the second one is going to be a healthy sexuality milestone, which is honestly huge. I'm really like anxious to get that finished and to get it out there into the program. Should be done in about 2 weeks. Also in the program, we're offering more coaches, new coaching, and other specialty coaching calls. So coaching calls with a very, very good sex coach, coaching calls with really specialists in relationships and betrayal trauma. Plus, we have multiple coaching calls every single week with me, with other coaches. Like you have so much freaking support. And I created it this way on purpose. I had someone say to me this morning, like I was going back and forth on whether or not to join the program. And I'm so glad I did because I realized this is worth so much more than what I pay for. And I'm like, yes, thank you for saying that because that truly is my goal. That truly is my goal. And my goal is like that we're committing to you, that we're here with you throughout the whole thing. You have lifetime access to this. We're committed to working with you until you quit. You don't have to worry about paying more in 6 months or paying for extended access. You just get access to it all forever, including access to any updates, like this big update, these new things. Like you just have that forever. And we are not increasing the price either. So it's still staying the same price. We're just making these changes because I need to in order to feel aligned with what I'm doing. And I need to because it's become really clear to me there are some new things that you all need to understand and you deserve education around when it comes to quitting pornography. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to do these new episodes to introduce a lot of that content to you here and then to go and do all the work in the program, right? That work is available for you to do in the program. That's another thing I say often. And, thanks for indulging me here. You all know I love to talk about the work we're doing. I love to talk about my program. And so I'll talk about it often in the podcast, but if you guys have heard me say before, the podcast is beautiful and it's life-changing. And even my content on social media, it's really life-changing for people. I had a friend tell me, all I did was listen to a couple of your videos and it changed everything for me. And I'm like, yay, that's awesome. That's the goal. And like a lot of people need some more than that. So like listening to the content, ideally it's making these big changes for you, but it really only goes so far to where you need to really implement and get some more one-on-one help. Like listening, learning. It's like watching YouTube videos on how to skateboard or on how to snowboard. Joining the program is where you get on the mountain with a guide and they teach you how to snowboard. You can go do that on your own. It's going to be tough. It's going to be like a little bit longer. It's going to be a little bit harder. Maybe you're able to do it. Maybe you need some help in the future. The program is where we can really hold you by the hand and help you and integrate and implement. And it's the quickest way, the easiest way to do all of this work. I also hired a research contractor to come in and help me with the research, making sense of the research, doing their own research, finding all of that for me, explaining it to me, and then helping us create systems to conduct, our own research within the program via self-reported surveys. So we have some of those as soon as you finish milestones, you'll do that. And so we can start to contribute our own research and start to gather more data to see how things are really, really working. We've got a lot of, word of mouth and testimonials that way, but we want to see some real actual data here. And so that's something else we're implementing into the program. It'll be easy and it's optional. You don't have to do it, but it'll just be like after you finish a milestone, then you go through and you complete this survey. Pretty simple, but it's going to be really great going forward in the next 5 years. It'll be really, really valuable information for us. My biggest lesson throughout this, and I hope you'll indulge me a little bit more, just kind of sharing my biggest lessons as I've been going through this process, because it's been hard. Like I said, it's growing and changing. It just doesn't end. And my business coach laughs with me because it's like it's like I hit a goal and then it's like on to the next one, or like I'm feeling really good. I've got things really figured out. And then something comes up that like changes and like shifts things and makes me grow even more. I've really come to love that process of just learning and growing, and even the process of like wrestling with things and the process of doing the hard work. The image that's been coming to mind as I've been doing this rebrand is giving birth. So I do have 2 babies. I have 2 kids and they're the best. I freaking love them. And this feels like another baby. This feels like something I've given birth to, and all of the stages of that, where you're first just conceptualizing what this could be and thinking about conception stage, the growing stage where it's kind of happening inside of you and building and growing inside of you. And then you're ready. I know, apologize. Forgive me for this analogy, but I think it's really beautiful. And then there's the birthing stage where you're getting it out into the world. And sometimes what that looks like is it hurts and it's difficult and it's hard, and you've got to put, I'm sorry. It's so, I don't know why I'm giggling about this, but like you're pushing it out. And some of this has been like that, where I'm like, I have this inside of me. I need to get it out. And it feels difficult, and it feels like I'm really forcing myself and I'm pushing myself to like get this done, and get this out of me. And how do I get what's inside of me out on paper? And it's such a beautiful process. I'm really being reminded too of, life and what life looks like. It's like death, rebirth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth, over and over and over again. And that's beautiful. I love that. I love being a human and experiencing that in so many areas of my life, and experiencing the difficulties and then the gifts and then, all the things that go with that. And then also the other thing is remembering how much discomfort plays a role in success. And I've shared this before, but that quote by Brooke Castillo that changed my life: discomfort is the currency to success. Whatever it is you're trying to create in your life or to have in your life, the way you get there is discomfort. And feeling discomfort, that can be discomfort of like being wrong, and the discomfort of having to like be humble. It can be the discomfort of like failure, the discomfort of embarrassment, the discomfort of having people see you. Having your face be out there, right? That's for me, that's what it is I have my assistant take care of all of my comments and all of my DMs because it gets really uncomfortable really fast for me to see. And it's kind of fun too. It's kind of funny, but being on the internet, you get mean messages, and being a woman talking about pornography, you get nasty messages. And so like being able to sit in the discomfort of, yeah, that's happening. And I'm allowing this because I believe in my message so much and I really want my message to be out there. So whatever that is, and I'm sharing this as a lesson that hopefully you can implement and feel the power of, like whatever that is, whatever you're trying to create in life, the way you get there is through the discomfort. And the beautiful thing about quitting porn and the beautiful thing about all these things that I'm teaching you is I'm teaching you how to feel that discomfort in a way that you can keep going in a way that it doesn't just destroy you. So learning, oh, this is what embarrassment feels like. Let's breathe into that. It's uncomfortable. It feels like a little ball of, I don't know, like a rubber band ball in my chest. It feels bouncy. I feel anxious. Oh, just breathing into that, just noticing these sensations. Okay, this isn't going to kill me. It's not dangerous. It's uncomfortable, but I can feel this and keep going. Right? Or if that discomfort is failure, right? Failure is a huge one. You have to be willing to fail whatever it is you're trying to create. You have to be. And so what does that feeling of failure feel like? The only thing that is keeping you from creating what you want in your life is an unwillingness to feel those emotions and being afraid of those emotions. But guess what? When we look at what the emotion actually is, it's just an uncomfortable sensation in your body. That's all it is. And so the better you can get at mindfully feeling this uncomfortable emotion in your body, the more you're going to show up for yourself, the more success you're going to create in whatever area of life that is, right? It could be dating. What emotion do you have to be willing to feel to go and find your partner? You've got to be willing to feel rejection. You've got to be willing to feel, some of these things we've already mentioned, failure, embarrassment. You've got to be willing to feel like the discomfort of having hard conversations. You've got to be willing to feel a little bit self-conscious, right? And so the more we can embrace that discomfort, the easier it's going to be and the quicker we're going to get what we want. So thanks for being here, you guys. I really hope that you enjoy all of this new content that we're offering as a rebrand. One other thing is, we're finally doing kind of a social media refresh. I've just had my assistant post content that I've done over the last couple of years just to, continue to add things. But I'm so ready. I'm so ready to get some new stuff there on my social media. So look forward to that too. Yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you all on my coaching call this week for those of you who are in the program, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye. I want to invite you to come and listen to my free class, How to Overcome Pornography for Good Without Using Willpower. We talk about how to stop giving into urges without pure willpower or relying on phone filters so that you can actually stop wanting pornography. We talk about how to stop giving up after a few weeks or months, and spoiler alert, the answer isn't have more willpower. And then lastly, we talk about how to make a life without porn easily sustainable and permanent. If you're trying to quit porn, this class is a game changer. So you can go and sign up at sarabrewer.com/masterclass, and it is totally free.